guys, welcome back to Melanie on Demand. Since so many of you asked me this topic, I will give it to you. Here's a very detailed comparison of Alberta versus one of the Atlantic provinces, Nova Scotia. And for this, we have a very special guest. We will talk about geography, schools, part-time work, living conditions, and of course, the PR pathways. Hope you learned something here, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this to your friends. Enjoy! So good morning guys! We have today MC Guzman, the famous blogger of YouTube sa Study Live Explore Canada. Hi MC!
Hi Melanie! Welcome to my channel!
Wait lang ako ang host ngayon, hindi ikaw.
Thank you for inviting me to first time ko mag-Tagalog vlog. So, I'm so excited.
Yeah. We're happy to have you here sa Melanie on Demand.
Me as well.
Today, pag-uusapan natin ang very hot topic about Alberta versus Atlantic provinces, or particularly sa case ni MC, Nova Scotia. So, MC, can you tell us a little bit about your background and yung pag-aaral mo dito sa Canada, even a bit on the application process, so that they can relate?
So that was like 2017 when I applied for my study permit. So, OFW ako sa Dubai for almost 6 years. So, I applied for my study permit sa Philippines. I tried not to apply it sa Dubai kasi maraming rejection sa Abu Dhabi embassy during our time. So, na-approve ako sa Philippines September 13, 2017. Fast track yung ginawa kong program. So, nag-January ako, 2018, nag-start ako. And then, natapos ako ng 2019 May. Natapos ako.
Oh, so almost the same tayo. So, parang ahead ka ng isang semester.
Actually, hindi ako ahead. Talagang kinompress yung program ko. Ganun yun.
But you still got PGWP? 3 years?
Ako.
Yeah,
3 years.
That's nice.
Yes. So, ang kagandahan lang sa fast track program is magkakagraduate ka kagad. So, mas lesser lang yung time ng sem break ko. So, yun yung nangyari sa akin. Fast forward, nag-apply ako ng PR, I think this year, July 19, 2020. So, nag-antay ako ng almost a year para makapag-apply ng PR. Kasi, nung nag-aral ako sa Nova Scotia, nag-transfer din kami to different provinces. So, after ko mag-aral sa Nova Scotia, nag-work kami sa Toronto, tapos lumipat kami sa British Columbia. So, I'm a NSCC alumni, international student. So,
very interesting. Yeah, very interesting yan. So, guys, take note of MC's timeline. Nag-aral siya sa Nova Scotia, pero after studying, nag-move siya sa ibang provinces. Let's find out why later sa sa topic natin for today.
So, alam ko marami nagtatanong I always get this question na parang, can I move after school? Definitely you can move after school. You don't have any restrictions unless meron kang restriction sa post-graduation work permit mo.
So, post-graduation work permit, it's a kind of open work permit na para sa mga graduates ng program dito sa Canada. If you took 1-year program, you'll get 1-year PGWP. And if you took 2 years program, you'll get 3 years PGWP. But since it's open work permit, you're not restricted to any provinces. So, pwede kang mag-move, kagaya ng ginawa ni MC, sa ibang provinces kung nandun yung job offer para sa'yo, especially if it's a skilled job. So, you have to check if it's worth it though. Kasi, syempre, sanay ka na dun sa province kung saan ka nag-aral, di ba?
Yes.
So, it's gonna be a big change.
Oo, kasi ganun yung nangyari sa amin. Very open kami kahit saang province kami mapunta. Hinahanap talaga namin kung saan kami yung home base talaga namin. Then we love na magstay na dito sa British Columbia. So, ayun.
Yun. So right now, you are in British Columbia.
Oo. So, then again, I'm going to share my experience in comparison sa Alberta. I still have a lot of experience to share sa Atlantic.
That's right. Of course, you've been there for like 2 years, diba? So.
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Okay, without further ado, let's begin the competition. Is it a competition? No, it's not a competition. Oh, we decided to make this video for you guys na nag-iisip, naghanap ng comparison between Alberta versus Atlantic provinces. So in her case, Nova Scotia. So there are a lot of factors na will help you decide kung ano ba talaga yung province na mas appropriate sa'yo. So, Alberta can be good for others and it also can be bad as well because for many factors. So, we'll see kung ano yung masasabi ni MC sa Nova Scotia at ako yung based sa experience ko dito sa Alberta.
Again, this will be based on our experience. So, meron baka may, syempre may mga viewers tayo from Nova Scotia or from Alberta din na they have different experience din. So, this will be entirely sa experience natin. So,
take note of that, okay? We are not immigration consultants. All of these are based on experience, student to student, and nag-share para sa inyong mga aspiring students, okay? Okay, let's begin. Our first topic is geography. So, it involves the location, weather, and tourism of Alberta and Nova Scotia. So, ako muna mauna. Sa Alberta muna. Okay. Sa geography.
Ikaw mauuna.
Diba? Baka makalimutan natin.
Bumisita lang ako eh.
Yeah, but still, thank you. So Alberta is one of the western provinces in Canada. So mainly flats and lands and ang katabi niyang province ay Saskatchewan and it's also located near British Columbia. So yun, nasa sandwich siya ng dalawang provinces. You can travel by land if you want to go to British Columbia and Saskatchewan, but Alberta is very big, so it's gonna take a lot of traveling time hours before you can get to other provinces. So, in terms of weather, kilala ang Alberta, notorious ang Alberta sa cold weathers. I was previously in Calgary when I studied. Nag-aral ako sa SAIT. Mayroon pa akong notebook ng SAIT.
Pinopromote yung school.
May pa-sponsor no? Tsaka SAIT alumni.
Wala, dapat pala sinuot ko yung Nova Scotia ko na jacket.
Diba? Dapat ready ka. Na joke. So, yun. So, nag-aral ako sa SAIT sa Calgary. And sa Calgary, it can go as low as -40. Sometimes, I think even -50 at once before. So, super cold doon, actually. Pero it doesn't last. Usually, hindi naman sobrang tagal. Like a week or so. Parang ganyan. It's also quite dry dito sa Alberta kasi nga wala kami masyadong body of water sa paligid.
Yes.
So, yun. Hindi masyadong maulan, so kadalasan snow lang talaga tsaka yung heat. And in terms of tourism, nandito yung Banff, very famous, Banff National Park. At saka Jasper National Park. If you search Canada's nature reserves, yun ang talagang makikita nyo. Napakaganda talaga. Sobrang picturesque, parang calendar na talagang kala mo hindi totoo. So, that's a very, very famous tourist spot here in Alberta. And it's worth checking kahit nasaan kayong part ng Canada.
True.
So, your turn, MC. Nova Scotia.
Ang dami nung sinabi mo. Hindi ko alam kung saan ako mag-start. Ano ba yan?
Location, weather, and tourism.
Ang hirap pang ang kakolab mo, teacher. Alam mo naman ako, lang ako impromptu. So, ang geography ng Nova Scotia is nasa east side naman siya ng Canada. So, ang Alberta is west side and then Nova Scotia is east side. So, siya naman, sa weather niya, is parang mild siya. Although, hindi rin naman mild. Sabi nila mild, nung ni-research
you know
ko.
what? Can I insert something? Kasi pag sinabi nila Atlantic provinces, lagi nila iniisip, sobrang lamig. Even me. I was shocked na malaman, mas malamig pa pala sa Alberta.
No, kasi may water din kasi. Tapos, sa Alberta, sabi mo dry. Sa amin naman, wet. Yung snow talaga, wet talaga, literally. Tapos, ang naranasan ko sa Nova Scotia nung time ko is, ang max na naranasan ko is -17 to 20,
Wow.
ganyan. Yun na yun. Pero yun nga lang, matindi-tindi din yung snow para sa akin.
Oh, yeah,
Siguro hindi ko lang din ma-compare kasi hindi pa naman ako nakapunta ng Alberta. So, para sa akin, hindi rin siya mild eh. Mas snow pa rin siya para sa akin. Tourism naman sa Nova Scotia is very din naman. Pagdating sa East Coast. Sa Atlantics, one of tourist destinations sa Nova Scotia is Cape Breton. Talagang
yeah,
maganda siya. Tapos, ang fall sa Nova Scotia is sobrang ganda.
Oh.
Sobrang ganda. Makulay talaga siya. As in, yun
So
yung
right now?
Oo, makulay ngayon sa Cape Breton. Kaya ang destination mo pagka fall talaga is East Coast ka. Sobrang kulay niya. Yun yung napansin ko. Nung nandito na ako sa west side.
Ano meron
Cabot
sa Cape
Trail.
Breton?
Cabot Trail. Para siyang highlands.
okay.
Highlands
Okay,
siya.
okay. That's nice.
Ang Alberta, since nakarating naman ako dun sa Jasper, saka sa Banff, sobrang, yung Rocky Mountains yung nyo, di ba? Talagang attraction nyo. Sa Nova Scotia naman, yung Cape Breton talaga. Yun yung attraction nila. And then sa Halifax, dun malapit lumubog yung Titanic, kung hindi nyo alam.
Oh, really?
Yes, doon. So maraming ding history. When it comes to World War II, marami din doon. Kasi mas malapit siya sa Europe, di ba? So maraming
that's
mga
nice.
history talaga.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yes,
Pwede natin
very
i-check out yan.
historical ang Nova Scotia. Tapos, yung geography, maliit lang ang Nova Scotia. Ilan ang population niya sa Alberta?
Ay, di ko alam. Good question. I'll search that one. Okay, nag-research na ako. Siyempre, bawal fake news dito, di ba?
Teka nga, i-ano ko din yung ng
In
Nova
terms of
Scotia.
population ng Nova Scotia, sa quarter 2 ng 2020, it's about 970,000. And sa Alberta, it's about 4.4 million.
So, diba? Ganun ang comparison. Kung ganun,
That's
ganun
about
yung
4
makikita.
times, no?
4 times talaga. Imagine that. Maliit lang talaga ang Nova Scotia compare sa Alberta. So, kayo na ang mag-gauge anong opportunity ang meron sa Nova Scotia at sa Alberta.
But then again, we have to pay attention to kung saang city or town ka pupunta. Kasi there are parts here in Alberta which are also rural, di ba? Na province talaga siya. So, advice to international students, it's better if you start sa cities, di ba? Kasi it's easier to move around, it's easier to buy your primary needs, and find employment, di ba? So, thank you. So, there you go. That's the, more or less in a nutshell, the geography of Alberta and Nova Scotia.